Throughout the show, we have been asking for your reaction to news that the Department of Justice is suing the state of Florida, and Florida in turn suing the Department of Homeland Security, all connected to efforts to purge Florida's voter rolls. Now it is time for the experts to weigh in on this freedom fight. Former Deputy Assistant Attorney General Thomas Dupree is here in Washington, and trial attorney Dwane Cates joins us live from Phoenix. Gentlemen, welcome to you both.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
All right, I want to start with a couple of the tweets that we got. We have one that came into us from Investigator. He says this: I'm one they want to purge. I am a U.S. citizen, but don't have my name on a water bill, light bill, lease, etc., so I can't vote. Tom, would he be barred by Florida from voting if he's here legitimately?
No, not at all, Shannon. I think in this case, you have the governor of Florida who is exercising his duty to make sure that people are not voting unlawfully in the state of Florida. They shouldn't be voting if they are not a citizen. They shouldn't be voting if they're dead. A lot of these principles seem fairly self-evident, and it's the governor's duty to ensure that people who should not be voting do not, in fact, vote, because they're canceling out the vote of someone who is here voting lawfully.
And by the way, Governor Rick Scott, Republican there in Florida, did say it's not just anecdotal, that they have proof that people who are here illegally have voted in Florida elections. A lot of folks say that that's a voter myth, but at least according to Governor Scott, he says it has happened. All right, I want to put up another tweet. This comes to us from Brad, and he's asking about the possibility of a constitutional violation. He says, is there a violation of the Constitution? If not, then this is a states' rights issue. Dwane, is he right or wrong about that?
Well, I think he's wrong about it. This is a constitutional issue. Now, you know, because of the 1993 Voters' Right Act, I mean, the lawsuit by the state of Florida is too little too late. I mean, even if they got all the information they needed, they can't remove these people from the rolls within 90 days of a federal election. And Section G is really clear. Now, the Secretary of State from Florida was on your show about an hour and a half ago, and he was trying to add citizenship as to one of the exceptions. And right now, the only exceptions are if you're convicted of a qualifying crime, or if you move out of the, there's only two exceptions. Citizenship isn't one of them. He wants to add it. He can't do it at this point.
All right, you touched on something there, and we talked about this in the intro, so I want to explain to people that for months the state of Florida says it has been reaching out to the Department of Homeland Security because it wants information regarding citizenship, so I believe so it can cross-reference that information against its voter rolls, and DHS has not provided them that information. Florida says it's suing. Tom, is that legitimate, or are we now tit for tat?
Well, I think that's the real irony here, Shannon, is that on one hand, you have the administration criticizing Florida for using what they say is an outdated list and improperly purging people. Yet at the same time, the administration is denying Florida access to the more updated list that the federal government possesses. I think at the end of the day, what needs to happen here is I think the administration needs to be not quite as quick to go into federal court and sue the states, and instead should be looking to work in a partnership and work constructively with the states so that everyone can work together to stop the problem of voter fraud.
Dwane, why shouldn't the Department of Homeland Security hand over that information or give access to Florida?
Well, first of all, the information that's in that list isn't designed for purging voter rolls. It's designed for MVD purposes. It's designed for other purposes. Now, even the state of Florida, officials in the state of Florida agree that it's not an ideal situation and there's going to be flaws even if they have that list. You know, Florida started out with 180,000 people they claimed were illegals trying to vote. And when they first started double checking that, they found out there were 500 citizens in the first group they checked. Now they pared it down to what they say is 2,700. But they don't even, if you read the lawsuit, they don't even want to use the list for the 2,700. They want to go in and they want to check every person that's registered to vote in the state of Florida against that list. And the Homeland Security list isn't designed for that, and they don't have the proper information to do it. So I don't think it's proper that they hand it over.
All right, Tom, how do you respond to that? I mean, if it's not accurate information, could Florida, and officials subject themselves to, legal action themselves if they kick somebody off the rolls who is a legitimate voter because they have bad information from DHS?
Well, as far as we know, it's the most updated list that's out there. And with regard to the point about, well, it's only a few voters or there's not that much fraud, I'd point out that back in 2000, the presidential election was decided by a few hundred votes from the very state of Florida. So the fact that Florida officials are proactively, affirmatively trying to get their act together and get their house in order before the election, I think is something that should be commended, not criticized.
All right, Tom Dupree, Dwane Cates, thank you both for making excellent points, very thought-provoking on both sides in today's freedom fight. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, Shannon.
Thank you. Happy Father's Day.
And to you as well.